Okay, say we want to have a big economic stimulus. President tells Congress, look, I don't expect you guys to do anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare an emergency. And I'm going to use the War Powers Act. I'm going to get a big wad of money. It'll be my money. If you don't like it, see if you can impeach me or something like that. But this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stimulate the economy. And if you guys want to yell about it, you'll be on TV even more than you ever dreamed. Okay, now here's the idea. The extant city-state governments are here. Let's use a friendly color, like say, like a pink elephant, okay? So the pink elephant finds out there are contractors, wait, okay? And the contractors have a relationship with city and state governments. They have for a long time. These are established contractors who build roads and schools and things like that. New buildings. And then there's you. Somebody who would get a job doing any number of things for these kind of contractors up here. Now the Prez has just told all the other branches that the Prez has become Daddy Warbucks, and little Orphan Annie, or whether it's Andy, little Orphan Andy, which if you've ever historically remembered the Castro Street area, you know there's a legendary place there named that. Okay, do we have... Okay, there we go. So we have the warbucks. The president said, ta-da, I'm the president, whammo. I got all these money, and I'm starting a whole new bunch of fellas and gals who are going to work for me. And here they are. They are economic marshals. And they're going to have this economic Marshall Plan that they can bring to bear. And it's martial because it's like a martial art. These guys do not waste time. The contractor and the government get together and say, we're going to hire you, we're going to hire this crew, but we got so much money. And it doesn't add up. Whammo. Like Tommy, like the Men in Black. The economic marshal, one dude shows up, says, what's the plan? People say, this is the plan. We're extending the highway from the Miracle Mile to the park so people can maybe bicycle access the Walmart or the Kmart or the Walkie Mart. He takes a look at it and sees a track record, and he gives it his approval. He says, okay, you get the green light for Daddy Warbucks money. And he also, because he's got lots of power but he doesn't have a ridiculous budget, he gives them a camera and his computer office, and they report to him when the job starts. But also there's a great big favor he's going to do with them with this big check here, because it's going to affect the checks. They start in on the job, and maybe there's a couple of really sane things, like the contractor's approved gets a little jump so that he can pay people maybe on day 2 of the job and day 5 of the job, and then go into his usual weekly pay schedule. Everything else is as normal. So people who could really use their paycheck in 2 days and then 5 days, they could use that money to feel like doing the job, because it might mean they could afford a cab to the work site, or a new set of clothes, or maybe even a hot shower. So something sane. that doesn't have to go through these guys, okay? So the economic marshal comes back to his hometown, which is not in the same time zone. Now, if the president and Daddy Warbucks calls all his buddies, and if they're all Democrat, so what? Okay? I imagine they won't be. But these economic marshals, these guys sign on the dotted line, this guy's going to do it, but also they sign on the dotted line, but they also get weekly updates, daily updates from each job they approve. So each of these economic marshals, how many we don't know, hopefully lots and lots, who'd be qualified veterans, people who've overseen construction overseas, people, veterans of previous, like the veterans, all kinds of people who understand authority, and now, having been overseas, would really like to do something to help directly to the United States, but other people too, retirees who've been in positions of authority and can assess what a quality job is. The paychecks get cut. What happens is, say you would normally be paid, say you're the bottom tier, you're going to get paid minimum wage. Screw that. Daddy Warbucks takes a look of, after all the taxes, after all the brouhaha, and just says, we'll double it. You take home per hour, we'll just add on a take home amount so that we guarantee your nice round number. And you get your paycheck on day 2 of the job, and there it is. I can tell you there's a big difference between, in this economy as it stands now, between $15 an hour take home, and you're going to get it in 2 days. What are you going to do with that money? You're going to spend it on things people in the economy need. You're going to spend it on some kind of housing. You're going to spend it on some kind of food, hopefully quality food. Because with the kind of security you get with this kind of pay, you tend to make saner decisions. The economic marshal watches the job. The pressure's on. It's on the program. It's on the economic marshals. And what does this lead to? Not only do we have the camera watching and talking to the economic marshal, I say the country is ready for, if we can watch our high school teams play football on TV, why can't we watch our people work on TV? Why to work? Not to be jealous, go, I can work better than that guy. No, to watch the work and approve of it. I saw your work on TV. Maybe I want to do that job. Or maybe have a suggestion. We're in it together, and it is a war. I'm looking at this Congress and this White House, and I think back to my little lectures on electromagnetism and ghostly tendrils and how we respond. I think powers that be are ahead of the trickle up. But here's a trickle up economy, and I don't see how it could hurt. There's no paperwork other than the paperwork that other exists. There's only a team of people that, if the president can't pick people out of the entire range of people that his administration knows, then he needs at least some people to encourage him to look further. There's got to be a team of people who will like this idea and start to think about rolling with something like this. There's an accountability trickle-up capacity information age that something like this can work. And I'm not giving up on this precept. I'll try to make it quicker and cleaner and have better production values. Thank you. Oscar 211010.